Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Arachak Wadash. The wonders to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations. Let's throw for like tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, speaking of bro polite, it's the spirit right now. They got the elder apostles and bishops and Akim, brothers is going in, inquiring from priest Zabak, about the things that he said concerning, a certain member of Great Millstone allegedly, threatening his life, threatening to shoot him or, whatever the accusations was, you got to be mindful of what you say. And there's a reason why the scriptures even tell you that, the tongue is a very untamed poison, if you will. And it can cause a lot of trouble, just based on what you say. Matter of fact, let me actually go to it. We're going to go to James, the 3rd chapter. It is James 3, and I'm going to start at verse 6. And it says, "And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and have been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison." So you got to have tongue control, if you will. All right, you got to control, what you say and think about it before you speak it. Because you don't know what you say how it can affect, others. And, brothers are waiting for a video, a live or whatever, for Zabak to come out and, make it right, by either presenting the evidence, of this said individual that claimed Great Millstone that allegedly threatened his life. And if he can't really produce that, then we know the law says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. If it's just coming from you, and it just so happened that you pull this out of nowhere because brothers is, on you, about, the Gentile doctrine, the Cornelius thing, and you just took an opportunity upon yourself to deflect. And now we're not even talking about that no more. Now we're talking about, which brother in Great Millstone, if he exists, that made this threat against you. You got to be very careful with that. All right. Because this guy, bro polite, all right, he said some wild things about us, knowing that it wasn't true, and even had men, on a hunt after us, the Crips and the Bloods, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all remember that. This man tried to roll a big stone on us, only for nearly 10 years later for it to roll back on his own head. So you got to be very careful. And I'm talking about not just you, Zabak, all you guys over the course of time. All right, over all these different years of, us going back and forth with you over doctrinal differences, you dudes have managed, because of your emotions and your pride, that you've managed to, defame and slander brothers. And don't think for a second that brothers ain't forget about none of you. All right. The scriptures say, "He that uttereth a slander is a fool." Let me get that. Proverbs 10 and verse 18, and it says, "He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool." And you a fool because it'll always come back to you. All right. Well, you're gonna have to basically prove what was said. And you can do damage based on what you're saying about people. And a lot of you dudes, you fortunate that brothers ain't, file lawsuits, sued the shit out of a lot of you for making these claims, man. So you dudes got to, you got enough time to make it right, because Yahweh Shai, he hasn't returned yet. So while he's, not here yet, because he's who we all going to have to answer to. He's going to be the one sitting on the judgment seat. So if you ain't made it right and, did the noble thing and show some integrity, some character, you got plenty of time to do so. But just know that time is ticking. But remember, every last one of you dudes, all right, over the course of time, and these other Israelite camps that said some, very slanderous things about us. And, we take it in stride, because the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai said, "Blessed are ye when men shall say all manner of evil against you falsely." So, we wear it, but that still don't negate that all you dudes out there that are guilty, you're going to have to give an account. All right. This is why if you uttering slanders and, you don't have the character to, make that, make it right, sending, which a lot of you do, like I said, is it comes down to pride. And the beginning of pride is when one departs from his maker. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty look before a fall. But you will have to give an account. You will have to answer. All right. Let me get Ecclesiastes 12. And this is starting at verse 13, and y'all already know this. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter." Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. "Fear the Most High and keep his commandments." And all you do is that when you out there teaching, that's the main words that's coming out of your mouth. Keep the commandments, keep the commandments, keep his laws, keep his commandments. Well, how are y'all keeping the commandments when you slandering? When you bringing up false accusations? Yeah, I do know the law says thou shalt not lie, right? Thou shalt not bear false witness, right? For this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So, that should actually, put fear upon you and humble you. All right, now I got a couple receipts on some of you dudes. See, Polite, he wasn't in the truth. He didn't have the grace to make it right. So the Lord pretty much judged his ass. All right, he was an enemy of the truth, the enemy of the cross. So the Lord got with him. He tried to roll that big stone upon us, and look what happened. He fell by the same thing he accused us of. But he's just a cautionary tale. You other men that know better, You still got time to make it right, man. Now, this is what I'm going to do. So, it's a couple of videos. Now, this video right here, I'm going to go back. This is like over 10 years ago. This is when me and the brother Shaquat, we confronted their camp out on the Las Vegas Strip. And after we had our encounter with them and they put up their video, this is what they titled it. The Israelites GM mess. PDF files get their doctrines rebuked. So they were basically calling us PDFs with no proof of, neither of us getting caught in that type of behavior or activity. It's very distasteful, man, but this is what they did. This was originally on the IUIC Las Vegas channel, and I think they might have taken it down, but somebody that follows them reposted it on their channel, and it's still here with that same title. So these guys, they never repented from that. But it's just one example. And then you got a couple of months back, Captain Tazaryak. This is what he was saying. Let me run this back. We ain't forget, man. Everything stays on the internet.
And listen, GMS didn't put that nigga out. He still stayed in GMS. He stayed right in GMS. Do you think the nigga stopped defecating in pink panties? Hell, like, he taking a shit in pink panties. That's who you going to camp with. That's who you going to camp with. And that's freaking...
And they ain't never produced no type of evidence of any of this occurring. This was an elder brother that used to be among Great Millstone years ago. And he's basically given some account that was alleged by a commanding general, Yohana. And, Yohana never came out and produced no receipts or nothing about that. There was a lot of, hearsay, but nothing ever came out about that. He couldn't prove that. But here he is, all these years later, he's still running with that story just to try to make us look bad. And he's saying this amongst unbelievers. This is when he was going in on Gorilla, but he had to, use us. Pull our names into it. All you do is going to have to stand on this, man. On the day of the Lord, in the day of the Lord's judgment. All of you.
Really? Listen, GMS, y'all gonna get mad. You're gonna have to eat this one. Pause. Right? But sexual deviancy seems to follow GMS because Gorilla Hebrew comes from GMS.
Yeah, you shall know them by their fruits.
By their fruit.
So they're making us to be these big, freaky sexual deviants, like we're just, some sick in the head guys, that can't control ourselves, and and this was distasteful too. And these guys showing that their characters they're straight up trash. These dudes got trash character, man. These are not real men of the Most High. So let's go to the Bishop Nathaniel. Where is it at? Yep, let's get this one. Can't forget about this from the bishop.
Or evil. So why was it important to clarify that Kendrick was not a member?
It's very important because I don't want them to malign him, try to say anything negative, because you have a lot of Israelite camps. Some are decent, some are good, and some are utter garbage. And will try to destroy his career by trying to associate him with a negative camp. And when I say negative camp, I'm talking about camps that teach things as you can rape women.
See that? And he's saying this right in front of a damn small hat. So, but yet, Great Millstone, you know, we're the biggest hateful camp in all of Israel, getting all this slander, all this defamation. Scriptures say, "He that a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it." You know, because you know putting those jackets and titles on us, you know, that can cause something. All right, and we know what they do to people with that jacket in the prison system. So, you know, all you dudes, man, over the years, you know who you are. You know, Zabak, yeah, he's right now, the spirit is on him because he made that accusation. You know, and brothers is willing to, if you know, men on our side have ever been guilty of, you know, making a slander without, you know, presenting the facts, the receipts. We just say something out of the side of our lips about someone because, you know, with us, you know, the apostles always say, you know, when we, you know, get on these dudes, these other groups, keep it doctrinal, keep it in the scriptures. You do not have to personally attack these men. So that's what we do. We keep everything doctrinal through the scriptures. These guys, they're the ones that have to resort, you know, to these tactics. That's how you know when you lose an argument, when you got to resort to slander. So it ain't too late. You know, all you dudes, man, y'all can try to make it right, but I don't think the pride will allow you to, you know. But just understand that the Most High, you know, he already know, and we all got to give an account. The Most High is going to bring every work into judgment. Every idle word that men must speak, they must give an account in the day of judgment. You already know this. All right. So, you know, I just want to put this out there, you know, to all who it may concern. But you guys know who you are, man. You know, I played some of the receipts, and that ain't even all of them. But this is the type of thing we've gotten, and you think that it's a actual reputation, you know, that we've been stigmatized with, even though not one brother has been guilty, have not been found, you know, with no type of smut as such. Now, Zabak is claiming that brothers is threatening his life. He going to have to produce that. All right. But hey, we getting it. Hey, Yahushua said what? Let's go to John 15. It is John 15 and 18. It says, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own, but because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will also keep yours also. So Yahushua got this treatment. So that's how you know we're carrying the cross. We're true followers of Yahushua because we getting the same treatment he got. They straight up slandered that man. They was making false accusations against the man, and he was blameless. And guess what? We're not gonna when we hear these things, we're not gonna threaten you. And if we cry out to the Lord, hey, that's not really a threat. That's us crying out to the Lord, and the Lord said it'll pierce through them clouds, and He will hear it, and He will avenge, for sure. So you dudes need to take heed, man. You got time before the Lord shows up. Or just let the pride continue to consume you dudes. Script. Hey, you won't escape, because the Lord He hears all things, man. So, I just had to go into this, especially dealing with this whole Zabak situation. Let guys like Bro Polite, man, y'all see what happened. Let him be an example. He that rolleth a stone. Let me go to it. I might as well go to it. I think it's Psalms. You know what? I think it might be Proverbs. Hold up. Yeah, this is Proverbs 26 and 27. It says, "Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him." And if you got some type of integrity and you got a bit of character, you'll do what's right and humble yourself and repent and apologize. But I know a lot of you dudes ain't gonna do that. All right. Scriptures say that a lie is a foul blot in a man's mouth. Let me get that. Sirach 20 in the G&T. It is Sirach 20 and 24 in the G&T. And it says, lying is an ugly blot on a person's character, but ignorant people do it all the time. A thief is better than a habitual liar, but both are headed for ruin. A liar has no honor. He lives in constant disgrace. And the scriptures say a tongue is a man's fall. All right, and you know what the scriptures say in Revelation concerning liars. You're going to be alongside with, idolaters and adulterers and sorcerers. You have your part in the lake that burneth with fire, which is the second death. It said, and all liars shall have their part. So you dudes better consider what y'all doing. We know that y'all hate us because we rebuke the hell out of y'all when you go off. But it's another when you take it to another level, which is slandering, falsely accusing brothers. So, we're gonna end. I'm gonna end off on that. I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Until the next one, Shalom.